Welcome to the Building Doors Podcast, where we're not just pushing for opportunities for women's voices to be heard, we're creating them. I'm Christy Harst, voiceover actor and creator of the Building Doors campaign. Join us as we amplify voices, break barriers, and build doors together.
Other people didn't go to bed early, so I was still awake. Aren't you going to ask me what I'm drinking today? Oh, wait, I'm not on Speechless.
Is it water?
It is coffee, but I also have my water.
Yeah,
Double
I have
fisting.
2 waters, and I forgot the lid, but it's good because it leaks. So
It's a lovely color.
it is. It's Kale's. Kale and Jay are in Hawaii. I have a week to myself in the house, but it also means that the dogs are under my charge, so there may be some barking. So I've closed the studio door to just help with that. So poor Christy has no air conditioning for 2 days. Yeah. Okay, so hi, Tracy.
Hi.
Welcome to the Building Doors LinkedIn Live for August 13th. I'm your host, Natasha Marchevka, and today we're diving into, ironically, LinkedIn. I'm thrilled to be joined by Tracy Lindley. Many of you know and love. She's a voice actor and LinkedIn expert who will be sharing insights with us. We want this to be interactive, so drop your thoughts and questions into the comments. We'll be checking the chat throughout the event. We are so on it, you would not believe. This is going to be a well-oiled machine. And we'd love to hear from you beyond the live. So please call 216-307-1917 if you want to leave a comment on our telephone line. That's 216-307-1917. Anytime during or after the event to leave a short voicemail with your thoughts, positive, of course, on today's discussion and on the Building Doors campaign. We'd love to hear from you. I also want to give a shout out to some of our supporters who recently bought us some coffee. Many thanks to monthly subscribers, Sandy Harrison Cooksey, Marion Mills, and John Lano. We love you. Coffee or not, we love you. If you love the Building Doors campaign, our live events, or our podcast, you can buy us a coffee, please, at buymeacoffee.com/buildingdoors. That's buymeacoffee.com/buildingdoors. I'd like to introduce our guest, Tracy Lindley, and she has quite a bio. And I know some of you, as I said, know her, but maybe you didn't know all the things on her bio. So here we go. Tracy Lindley has been a full-time voice actor in the Kansas City area since 2014, and is known for her outgoing personality and her fun-loving nature. I can attest to that. She specializes in commercials, e-learning, and corporate narration, and has even voiced promos for brands like NASCAR and Fox News. She attributes much of her success to marketing efforts through her free LinkedIn profile, gaining clients like Kaiser Permanente, KPMG, and Shark Ninja by reaching out directly. Very clever. She is a popular speaker at industry conferences, webinars, and workshops, and also offers an on-demand course called the VO Edge that teaches her proven 3-step LinkedIn marketing method. And finally, Tracy is also a momager for her 4 kids who are very talented, ages 10 to 16, and are also voice actors and work with clients like Capital One, Uber Eats, Advil, Five Guys, and more. Phew, that's a lot. Okay, welcome, Tracy, finally.
Hello, and thank you for that amazing introduction. You are so good at this. It's almost like you've done it before.
Hey, everyone wants to know, how did you first become interested in LinkedIn? I know for me, I was all over it with connecting with my own clients, but I know your story is different than mine. Tell us, how did you become first interested in it?
I think everything just kind of evolves, right? I mean, when I was first starting my career in 2014, I was just jumping on LinkedIn, creating a profile with some selfie I had, and, connecting with voiceover friends here and there, dabbling around. But it was until probably 2015 that I had somebody message me, a videographer, and he says, "Hey, here's this script. I've dropped it below. I've copied and pasted it. Can you give me a quote?" And it was that moment that the light bulb went off. So I have to thank him. This guy, and I can't remember his name right this second. I think it might have been Drew. But he's the one who kind of turned that light bulb on for me. That it was like, oh, we can we can DM and we can like give quotes and he
Mhm.
can send me the script. And it was that aha moment for me. So
Yeah.
after that, I started thinking about it more concretely and just thinking about how can I create an opportunity through intentional networking and that direct marketing outlet. So it became
Mhm.
not just a social media platform, but it was more of a free marketing tool at that point.
Right. I love what you said about intentional marketing, because so often we just throw seeds into the ground to hope that they sprout, but intentional marketing is different. Okay. In your view, is the current iteration of LinkedIn valuable for voice actors and other creative entrepreneurs? Because you've been on it for a very long time, as have I. Is it still that wonderful place to connect directly with clients?
Even though it has gone through some changes, some of the things that used to be free are now premium options that you have to buy to get. I still say it is worth it. I still have a free LinkedIn account. I still don't pay for it. I pay for lots of things,
Right.
lots and lots of things. So
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to pay, 50 or more dollars per month for LinkedIn when I feel that the free version has so much to offer. We can still connect even though we cannot do more than 5. Typically, everyone has 5 personalized invitations that they can
Hmm.
send. But
Hmm.
once someone connects back with you, it's unlimited DMs.
Hmm.
And you can also post all your content. You can still do lots of searches. It is a limited amount of searches, which LinkedIn doesn't tell you exactly how many you can do.
Okay.
But I
Yeah.
have certain workarounds like bookmark your search. So you can just go to that page instead of putting it back in.
And
Everything.
it doesn't count. It
It,
doesn't count when you bookmark.
well, it's a bit ambiguous, I must
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
LinkedIn doesn't exactly explain what's an action, what's not. So you can just assume that clicking on someone's profile is still an action, but at least you're not putting this search back in multiple
Hmm.
times.
Right.
So you can do a lot of searching, a lot of connecting per month, and it starts over on the first of each month anyway.
Hmm.
So I still say it has tons of value for that direct networking and marketing opportunity.
Cool. You have seen it adapt. What kind of changes have you seen that require us to adapt? What do we have to do differently now? It sounds like the connecting with clients, except having only 5 instead of 100 or unlimited or whatever messaging per month. What else has changed and how should we adapt to LinkedIn?
Well, to the first point, because we aren't able to personalize that connection request anymore, it's very important to start with step 1 of my recommended 3-step process. That first step is to optimize your profile. So don't start connecting with people until you have optimized your profile to where you can clearly show clients what you do, how you can help them, and show examples of your work in the featured section. Get your contact information on there. I recommend putting it in the banner because you can see that even if you're not connected with someone. And then I put it in multiple places because even professionals are not always active on LinkedIn. So you
Mhm.
just have to assume that people might not be as familiar with LinkedIn as you would hope. And so that way, if you've got your contact information in multiple places, even if they're not familiar with it, they can find you because that would be sort of your call to action.
Right. Okay. Two things before we move on. One is I've heard people say, don't put your contact information in the header because it's not clickable. But I love what you're saying, because if you're not connected, you can't necessarily see their contact information. So allow people to see your contact information, whether it's just your email address and phone number and not clickable, because they can see it and you don't need to be connected. So that's awesome. What I want to go back to though is a question that somebody asked, are Facebook lives or LinkedIn lives better? And I think you would say what I think, and that's that Facebook is not a professional platform, it's personal for the most part, unless you're doing business to consumer,
Mhm.
and LinkedIn is professional, which is business to business. Would you agree with that?
I would. I think that's a perfect way to sum it up because you have to think about where is your audience? What platform are they on? So it
Yeah.
depends on who you're trying to attract.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So, what are some common challenges voice actors face on LinkedIn that you've helped solve?
Some common challenges. Okay. I think what I do is try to take the guesswork out of what do I do? Where do I start? LinkedIn is just so all encompassing that I think it can be really challenging for people when they're faced with where to start. So by having only a 3-step method, I
Mhm,
think it helps really empower people. That's my goal anyway. I really
mhm,
want to empower people to think, how can I be active on LinkedIn
mhm,
and not have to stress about where to start? Or a lot of times people want to just delete their whole account and throw it out the window. I'm like, no, don't do it.
mhm,
Because
mhm.
LinkedIn values the older accounts. So even if it used to be something that you no longer do, just update it, but do not delete it and start
Okay,
over. That's a
okay,
really bad thing that people do sometimes that I
okay.
I see.
Help with.
So
Yeah.
I also and I guess that's neat, we can maybe discuss that in a moment, but some challenges are just it's overwhelming. And so I've boiled it down to here's your 3 steps. And if you have to choose one as far as DM or posting content, focus more on the behind the scenes DMs and
Yeah.
then just try to post about once a week. I feel
Okay.
that's doable. The
Okay.
challenge is it's overwhelming. The solution is let's make it simpler.
Right. Which goes right into a beautiful segue for me to talk about our challenge. We do have a few more questions, and we're gonna answer someone's question that just popped up. But Tracy is so good at answering LinkedIn questions. That's why she's here today, and that's why she has a course, and that's why we are doing a 21-day LinkedIn challenge. So we've done it a few times, and I say we because the speechless gals, myself and Kim Wilson, host her, and Tracy answers all the questions. So we collaborate. And that's where you can ask a lot of questions. We have Q&A and blah, blah, blah. So just listen for that later. But one of the questions that was asked is, do photo and video posts, are they more valuable in terms of the algorithm than text only posts? And do we know the answer to that, Tracy?
Well, I would say it this way. With the rise of AI, it's almost like we have to prove to people that we're a real person. So
Right.
that is why I would like to stress that people do use video content.
Ah,
And yes, and also video is king or queen or whatever,
right.
royalty. Video is the royalty, okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
People love videos. And even though you can do longer videos, even on Instagram now, I recommend keeping them as short as possible. People
Okay.
do have very short attention spans. And yes, I was intimidated to show up on social media to Christy has in the chat that many people are intimidated to show up on socials. Absolutely. I was freaked out too.
Yeah.
But I reached
Yeah.
out to someone who I looked up to as someone who's good on video. And he
Yep.
told me that the solution to that is just to do it anyway and to keep practicing. And
Right.
that is literally the only thing that's helped me to get good at
You
being
are
on video.
so good at
I,
so good at it.
well, I'm not saying I've mastered it in any way. And it's ironic because my camera is currently frozen. You can't even see me.
Well, we can
um,
see your beautiful face, but
I,
yeah,
frozen in a very weird expression, and I've tried to like turn off my camera and turn it back on. So I'm really sorry, you guys, but I'm still here with you. I just can't
yeah.
get my
She's
camera
a
to
real person.
work. But yeah, so even like people are faking videos with AI even. Yeah, so that
Really?
yes, I've seen that kind of thing. There was some woman sitting in her car talking and my friend sent it to me. He's like, "This is so AI." And I'm like, "Really? Is it?" I couldn't tell. But you want to be as real of a person as you possibly can. Even on
Great
LinkedIn,
advice.
show up, have
Great
some
advice.
personality. Don't
Absolutely.
just be so business-like. But yes,
Yeah.
you must relate it back to business.
Yeah.
But, like I just went on a trip with my daughter to New York City,
Mhm.
and that got a lot of comments and feedback. And
Yeah.
I need to do a post of here's some stuff we did and make a reel. But reels take so long. But the
Yeah.
great thing about it is that you can post it on Instagram and LinkedIn in many
Yeah.
circumstances and
Yeah.
multi-purpose that.
Yeah. I love your advice on the video and appearing like a human. That is key. Oh my gosh, that's so key.
Static pictures do well also, or
Yeah.
you can do a carousel of pictures. You can
Yeah.
create something on Canva and make it download it as a PDF, and it shows up
Yeah.
nicely in a scrollable carousel that way.
But do you ever do text only? And does that work for you at all?
I
'Cause
personally don't like text only. I'd rather have a picture with it.
Yeah. Okay.
So I
Yeah.
like to put at least one picture along with a caption, and
Okay.
really it can be anything. You can do
Yeah.
text only, but I think it's kind of boring and it really doesn't show off your personality. It doesn't make you as memorable, but text only does actually work on LinkedIn as far as the algorithm, but why waste an opportunity? Give people a visual aid.
Right. Okay. Good to know. Um, the question that I have and the question that someone just posted, they're asking if they have a full-time job and they do VO part-time, what should they do on LinkedIn? I know that you get that question a lot.
That is a
Um,
frequently asked question.
and my next question is, what mistakes do you see people make most often in LinkedIn profiles and how can we fix them? So I think these tie together, as
Okay,
I
let's
know.
address some of these frequently asked questions. So, the first one is, what do you do when you have a day job and you also want to showcase yourself as a voice actor? First of all, LinkedIn will only allow you to have one personal profile. You can have multiple company pages, but only one personal profile. So, when you look at yourself as a person, it's just important to weave together your stories. And this is something that I have said many times
Mm,
because, for instance, I have a course, but it is about LinkedIn. It is not, it is about voice acting, but anyway, just weaving those together. If you have a day job where, let's just say you are a teacher, then that makes you so well suited in the e-learning industry, the genre rather.
mhm,
If you work at an advertising agency, that
mhm,
works perfectly with being a voice actor for broadcast commercials or, digital commercials. So
mhm.
whatever
Every
you
job.
do,
Sorry
yes,
to interrupt you, but every job, medical, technical, computer, what your language can then be great for voiceover because
yes.
you know how to speak the language, right?
Whatever it is, your job matters and it
Yep,
does
yep,
play in somehow.
yep.
You can talk about how you work from home and so you've learned to be detail oriented or you manage a team so you're great with, working with others. I mean,
Yes.
whatever it is, just
Yeah,
highlight your strengths from that job.
yeah.
And I also get a frequently asked question, what do I do if I've never booked any jobs yet? I'm brand new. And
Mhm,
to that I would say if you are hanging out your shingles saying you're a voice actor, that means you have a demo. So take your audio demo, go make it yourself into a video demo. Or
mhm,
if you want to message me, I have somebody I work with that makes them affordably. You can either do a static sort of picture with some moving graphics, or you can also do clips from your
mhm,
different clips on your audio, but
mhm.
turn that into a video. You can even make your own content or you're reading something as long as it's not an actual audition because those are often confidential and under NDA.
And as
So,
long as it's a good reflection of your professionalism and your voice, as
right.
opposed to, it'll be very revealing if you're amateur or pro if you do a DIY script. So make sure that you look professional and you sound professional. Sorry,
Yes.
needed.
No, that's very true. And also to answer the other question about what are some mistakes people make online with LinkedIn,
Mhm,
here are a couple of ones that I hear about or I see a lot. One of them I already mentioned is deleting your old profile just because you want a clean slate. I know that feels good, but it does not work well for LinkedIn. So you don't want to do that. The other thing that I see people doing is in the experience section, they will list every agent they have, or they will create all these projects
mm,
because LinkedIn will allow you to create projects and add them. You don't want to do all that. It's way too cluttered. You
mm,
need to streamline it, make it easy for a potential client to look through your profile and see exactly what you do and how you can help. If you clutter that up, they can't find it. So don't put on all of your agents. You can list a few of them, or if, like me, I have one national representation. So that's what I put on my profile under the experience section. But
right.
I don't list them as an employer because technically your agent is not an employer. If you had to describe it, they sort of work for us as voice talent.
Mhm. So
By
where do you list that?
you list it in your experience section, but it's not something that's clickable. You just put it
Okay.
down in the bottom. It's kind of like you can put your contact information in both the about and the experience section and the banner. None
Mhm,
of that is clickable,
mhm,
but it is clickable in the contact information area of your profile.
mhm.
So you're not expecting people to click it, but they can copy paste if it's, on your, not from the banner, because that's a graphic, but they can from your experience and your about section.
But in terms of your national representation and them not being your actual employer, where are you putting that they're your representation?
I'm just listing it in the experience section.
Okay.
of my
Okay.
profile.
Right. Super question from Goldie Perry. And I think I might know the answer, but I'd love to hear what you have to say, Tracy. What if your professional name or stage name is different than your legal name? What do you do?
There is a section where you can put other name and it'll come into parentheses, but I recommend that people get verified, and to do that, you have to use your real name. So it can be confusing, but LinkedIn, they're one of the best platforms at finding and weeding out those spammers and the robots. So it's so much harder to create a fake account on LinkedIn and have it not flagged, because it's easier to tell you're a spammer or you're a fake account. And so that's why I recommend that people get that verified check mark on their name as well. So to do that, you really have to use your actual name.
Interesting conundrum for performers.
Yes, I understand that, but you can put your performance name in parentheses and it will go in there if you put it in the other field on your name when you're putting in your contact information.
Right. Interesting. I think maybe like you would do a nickname. You'd put Natasha Starfish Marchevka, but you'd put the starfish in quotes or in parentheses to show that that's a name you go by. Yeah, Patricia says if a registered business is a doing business as, if a registered business, maybe with a doing business as something, will be verified. It's something that we need to sort out. Yeah. Oh, Samantha, yeah, if you can't get verified, next to impossible in Canada, which I wonder why. I've been through all the hoops. How much will that hurt your profile, and is there an alt around it? Great question. What do you think about that, Tracy? If it's difficult to get verified for one way or another, is that going to hurt you?
I just think it's a bonus if you can get verified. It's just move on if you can't. I would say reach out to customer support. But don't let it be a deal breaker or, keep you from being active on LinkedIn. Just move on,
Yeah. Okay. Question from Randy Scott. Is it still best practice to avoid links like YouTube links on LinkedIn? Is it better to post original sourced video projects? Is it worth deleting the links and reposting? I don't quite understand because of the way it's worded, but I think
I get what he means.
Okay, good.
No, I get what he means. Okay, so LinkedIn wants to keep you on their own platform.
Right.
So that's why the original content is best. So if you have the original video, the MP4 from the client, or you've created your own content, that is what you want to try to use. And what you do is you put that in a post. And then once it's a post already, you go to the top right corner and you can click a little star that says add to featured. And that will add it to the featured section of your profile. So that is the best way to post original content, because then whoever's looking at your profile can also see the reactions, they can see the comments, and there's social proof of your sort of voiceover prowess, if you will. So you can still do links. Yeah, but you can still do links. It just isn't going to rank as high in the algorithm, and it's going to require more clicks for the client. But
that sucks.
I know. But let's just say you have a really great piece that you would like to share, and the client, either won't give you the original or you're too scared to ask them. Let's be real. So you can still do it that way. And it won't hurt you. It's just stronger to use the original content.
Right. Hi, Galena. So glad you're here.
Hey.
Do you know the answer to this question, Tracy? What actions would cause a normal account to be flagged?
I don't really know. I've never had my account flagged. I don't know. You guys could probably share some stories in the chat if you've ever gone to LinkedIn jail. I would just say try to obey the rules. The user agreement is not terribly difficult. I'm a rule breaker myself, but on LinkedIn, I do follow the rules.
But how do we know okay. it's not very straightforward. Keeping up with the rules, I think, would be a bit odd. But I suppose just make it business-like and you should be good, right?
Yeah, I've heard people have some trouble with the whole verification thing if maybe they're outside the United States or they are trying to use a stage name. Those are two complications, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to say it's like breaking the rules. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And we've got a comment
Oh,
that says that
good.
you can use Clear to get verified in Canada.
Oh,
Awesome.
that's great.
Thank you for that, Ginger.
Yeah,
We
Ginger,
appreciate
thank
that.
you. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Okay. I wonder because I started my account when I lived in Canada, but I don't now. Anyway, um, okay. Now is the time for you to tell us about your course that you offer for people who are looking to up their LinkedIn game. And I know lots of people have bought your course, but for those who have not, can you tell us any more? You said you have 3 steps.
Yeah, let me give you the brief overview. And
Okay.
so the course is going to take these 3 steps and greatly expound upon them. So
Mhm,
the 3 steps are, first, I mentioned optimize your profile. That's where you start. Don't
mhm.
bring people into your shop unless you're ready for business.
Right.
And you also, within that step, you need to be truthful. Is your home studio ready to go? Do
Mm,
you have a demo that not only represents you, but you can recreate those sounds?
mhm,
Do you have a professional website?
mm,
I'm trying to think if those are probably some of the 3 main things is the home
mhm,
studio, the demo,
mhm.
and your branding and marketing materials, things that you would need, like a professional email address, those sort of things. So that's all encompassing in step 1. So
Okay,
step
wait. One
okay.
sec. Sorry. A professional email, just so everyone knows, it's not at Gmail or at AOL or at Yahoo. It's, you at Natasha Marchevka's studio or whatever, right? Is that what you mean
Yes,
by a
and
professional
people usually
email?
use things like Google Workspace to get that
Yes.
domain name, and
Yes.
then everything comes to your it's like a
Gmail.
Gmail account.
Yeah.
It that is above my pay grade.
Well,
I pay
I
someone to
have
do
that.
that.
I have that and it's inexpensive and very easy. So, but then you said a professional website, and I would beg to differ. I think that if you have a well, no, that's still a professional website. So Voice Actor Websites has something where you can
Yes.
have a free page, or VoiceOver View has something that includes a profile page, your own page. So you don't have to pay thousands of dollars. You can find a profile page. And if on LinkedIn you look super pro, maybe that's your landing page for now. So don't get too tied up in that, but definitely a demo and a perfect profile. Sorry, keep going.
No, I totally agree, and I use voice actor websites
Mm,
to they created mine. I'm very happy with it. They actually specialize in SEO as well.
right.
So they will help you not only have a beautiful and well-functioning website, but they're going to help you behind the scenes to get it better ranked
Yeah.
online.
But they
So,
also have a free service where
yes, they do.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
What in the
Okay.
world is the name of it? I can't even
I know
think
it's
of it.
something like voice actor websites, but I don't know the
It's
exact
like
name.
voiceover.
So,
I'm
yeah.
very sorry, but it is a free one-page account, and maybe
Well,
you can do
message us directly if you want, and we'll find out.
yeah, we'll find it. I just can't think
Mhm.
of it right now. But
Yeah.
the second step in my process is to target your dream client or who you'd like to work with. So instead of throwing a large net, you can, you're still throwing a pretty big net, but you're actually targeting who to work with. So when you're in LinkedIn, you can use their advanced search filters to look for the type of person that would want to hire voice actors. And then you can even target down. I like to target down when you're first starting out by your location.
Right.
So I'm in the Kansas City area. So I would put in Kansas City in the filters and start looking for people that do videography in my area. And they're
Hmm.
possibly, you could look for things like titles such as video producer. You can look up things like e-learning designer, although I don't
Hmm.
know, there's really not, I don't think Kansas City is not as large of a market. So if you are in a smaller market like myself, you might want to widen your outlook and just see widen your filters or choose another large city near you. I could put in St. Louis and then we're still in the same state. You're
Hmm.
looking for common ground. So
Yeah.
that's
Right.
part of
Okay.
step 3, which is communicating in a non-spammy way with that target. Once you've found them, once you've already sent your connection request and they've connected back with you, now it's time to start the conversation. So you
Yeah.
introduce yourself,
Yeah.
you keep it brief, you don't drop links, You thank them for connecting. You look for a common ground statement, something that you can give them a genuine compliment based on you perusing their profile or website,
Right.
so that you're memorable. And they're like, oh, yeah, she actually did check out my profile. Well, that was
Sure.
nice.
Yeah.
Or websites, because they don't always give you a lot to work with on the profile, but you do have to vet them and look through their stuff. And if they only produce, let's just say, music videos, then they don't
Right.
need voice talent.
Perfect
Or
example. Mm-hmm.
yes, then you take that third step and you start the process. Now, many times, they won't communicate back with you. So that's when you need to get a customer relationship management tool or CRM, such as Voice Overview, or there's a bunch of them, HubSpot, Nimble. I mean, I could go on and on, but grab yourself a CRM that you are comfortable with and that's in a price point that you're comfortable with, and then keep following up with them periodically. You can also set the notifications, hit that bell on their profile and choose that you want to see all their notifications. Just keep in touch.
Yeah.
You can also check them out on other profiles, like if they have an Instagram account, but it can get weird if you do too many.
Oh, voiceactor.com. Thank you, Christy. That's the
Uh,
free one, voiceactor.com.
Thank
That's where you
you.
can create a free profile. Okay,
Yay.
we are going. Oh, thank you, Samantha. We're just going to talk about that. Yay. So,
Perfect
Samantha
segue.
Damiano, yeah, Samantha Damiano participated in one of the LinkedIn challenges, and she says it's incredible. Yay. Bite-sized steps you can do in 5 minutes. So, Tracy, yes, does have a course, but we also organize a challenge. It's 21 days, and you get the emails right in your inbox that you can keep forever. And there's a video of Tracy explaining the task every day, talking about the topic every day, and off you go. So some people just don't like reading text. It's not as it's more difficult to learn than a video speaking to you. So she has individual videos, 21 days, and we're doing that in September. Now, here's the thing. We don't have a landing page at the moment that I know of. I'll have to check when she's speaking. But we can attest to the fact that a lot of people have done it. So we're just doing it again in September. We're going to make sure everything is up to date, of course. And it's like super reasonable price. It's just a quick way of brushing up your profile, figuring out what you have to do for posting, and getting organized. And I love a challenge, whether it's like a meditation challenge, a food challenge, a getting organized challenge. I love me a challenge. And so that's why we created it, because we know how helpful that will be for voice actors, or really anyone, but it's focused on voice actors, to get organized again, because you always have to also update your profile and what you know about LinkedIn. So, and it also includes a weekly live Q&A webinar, so that it's not just this automated thing that comes to you. There's an interactive portion where you can ask any question that you want, either from the challenge or that's popped up that you think of that you want to know about, like LinkedIn. And if we don't know the answer, then we will certainly look it up for you. It is bite-sized over 21 days. So what's great about that is the challenge keeps you engaged and kind of accountable, because you wake up and there it is again, 5-minute assignment, off you go. So, and Paul has asked a question, and I will address it if I can. You're addressing right now my question: strategy when a potential client has connected and maybe messaged, but not opened the conversation to actual work. Can you get that into that a bit more if there's time? Yes, Paul, we will. And I know that's a question she gets a lot in terms of conversion. How do you get them off the platform? And Tracy's a master at that. So let's see about her internet and coming back here, but I can certainly speak to the challenge that we're doing. So doing the challenge will keep you engaged and cut the overwhelm, because it's a little bit every day. Another question I had for Tracy was, there's a lot of advice about LinkedIn out there. What makes this challenge different? Oh, someone's asked us that before. Actually, a few times.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you, and we're good, because I'm talking about the challenge.
Yes.
And there are a couple of questions, but I'm just addressing what makes this challenge different. There's a lot of advice about LinkedIn out there, but it's really not necessarily about advice. It's just do this, get your profile in shape, get yourself in shape, get yourself ready to go out there and make conversation. which, by the way, Tracy, while you were gone, Paul Vinger asked that question that we get and that you get a lot about conversion. So if you're starting up a chat in LinkedIn and you're building a relationship, but they don't talk about hiring you, can you give us a little bit of a hint about conversion and how you get them to talk about working with you or moving over into your regular email?
Well, we've heard many times that it's important to stay top of mind. And we've
Mhm.
also heard that it takes many touch points. And that's
Mhm.
why I
Mhm.
suggest following up with people by getting them in a CRM. And that will nudge you to go ahead and reach out to them, whether it be through LinkedIn or another way. But I do try to move people from LinkedIn and get into their inbox
Mhm.
because I feel like most people,
Give
well,
us a
how to do
hint.
that? Okay. So if I would say, try to keep the conversation going once they actually respond to you and say, "Oh, thank you for reaching out. We'll keep your information on file." If you
Mhm.
hear something like that, what I write back is I
Mhm.
say, "Okay, awesome, Bill. Would it make it easier for you if I just email you my demo so that you can keep that on file? I see from your profile that your email address is bill@videoproduction.com. Is that the right one?" So that's how I do it.
That's amazing.
Well, and it's very simple and it's
It
not
is.
spammy. It doesn't feel gross. And that's
Right.
why I want to address Sean's question that he just
Mhm.
popped up.
Mhm.
You are saying, Sean, that you've heard from a few people that those
Mhm.
on LinkedIn don't like to be directly solicited through
Mhm.
direct messages and that it's better to create relationships with people on LinkedIn through commenting on their
Mhm.
posts, etc. For
Mhm.
that, I'm not going to disagree with you, but I will say that if you take a non-spammy attitude where you are actually allowing yourself to build that relationship through personal connections and comments, I think you can do it both ways. I believe that DMs are better simply for
Yeah.
the fact that they're in the message book, they're in the inbox. They can't get
Yeah.
lost. There's
Yeah.
so much noise and content on LinkedIn and every other platform. We're getting dings and buzzes and bells and whistles all day long.
Yeah.
So if you pop into someone's direct messages, I know that for me, I get an email as well because that's how I have my settings. So I'm not going to miss a LinkedIn message. And even if it happens, that's why we follow up in case, they forgot about you or they clicked on it and then they got distracted and didn't have a chance to respond. So there is nothing wrong with connecting with people and then direct messaging them. What's
That's
not good
amazing.
is if you have the same boilerplate thing that you say to
Right.
everybody.
Right.
That's why I suggest creating templates, but
Mm.
personalize them. So you could have one for people that are in your area and you can kind of go about it that way, or you can have one that is in a different genre. So it's connecting with e-learning designers and saying something about being in the education space so they can tell that it's personalized. It will
Yeah.
also have their first name,
Yeah.
and the first statement to get them interested and warmed up is a common ground statement. So
Yeah.
if you do those things, Sean, then it's not going to feel spammy to that person.
Yeah.
And people are also primed and ready for those networking business conversations on LinkedIn, which is why we are choosing this platform to begin with, because
Yeah.
they're already expecting you to talk about business with them.
That's
So
right.
it's not spammy if you take those precautions.
Right. And you gave us such a perfect example to respond because you'll say non-spammy way. And I'm like scratching my head, like, well, what does that mean? It means just say, would it be helpful for me to send this? It looks like this is your email. I love it. I love it. I love it. Although I must admit that a lot of my clients aren't on LinkedIn. And so I'll go to connect and it's just like this blank head and they're on there. So just use, connect with people that have a full profile, right? As opposed to people, that you might know, but they don't, you can tell if someone's participating or not on LinkedIn.
That's true. But even if they're not active on LinkedIn, usually they'll check it eventually and they'll
That's
still
true.
see. It's not like email. I mean, I've said before that emails have spam filters, whereas LinkedIn, once you're connected, you're in their inbox. You're
Yeah.
there. You
Yeah.
can't get sent to the circular file.
That's right. Well, if you don't get into spam, but I'm sure if you send a direct email and you've got their exact address, then you're pretty good. You're good.
True.
Yeah.
True. But you've warmed it up. I'm just saying if it's a cold contact,
Yeah.
LinkedIn is great for those. because they can actually see you. They can check out your profile and kind of get to know you a little bit better than an email. There's nothing to look at. Whatever's in your e-signature is all they have, which is why, bonus tip, I love using wisestamp.com because it has your picture, it has your you can do your social media handles on there, and you can even post, like I have my brand video that they can just directly watch.
Right.
I don't think anyone does, but it's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Tracy, talk about for the challenge. Is it good for just beginners and pros? Share with them in terms of who they are, why it is great for everyone.
Yes, I would say that it's for people of all levels. And I always say that even if you've never booked a single LinkedIn job, you can at least do, or not LinkedIn job, voiceover job, you can at least start with step one. Step one is optimizing your profile. And then you can learn about steps 2 and 3 and apply them whenever you are ready to go. So let's just say your home studio, it's not good. It's not broadcast quality and you're waiting on XYZ. Figure out what's holding you back, because I have that question a lot too, where people are afraid to move forward or they feel like they're not ready. And I want to ask you, if you're in that boat, what's holding you back? What is the thing that is stopping you from feeling confident that you can go out and reach out to people?
Yeah.
So if it's your home studio, then your solution would be to find a home studio expert, send them a sample. I recommend George Whittam. I also like Dan Leonard. They both accept studio samples and will tell you what might be wrong in your studio that you can fix.
And I also like Jim Edgar, justaskjim.com, and Mike McGonigal, McGonegal. Lots of tech people, but we love certain people and we trust them and they're kind.
Yes.
That's the bottom line. Right?
We don't want to be talked down to or like, ugh, your studio is terrible. That creates fear, and none of these people will do that.
Yeah.
So once you have that confidence to move forward, then you can get on with steps 2 and 3, which is reaching out and connecting and then communicating. So with the LinkedIn challenge, it's 3 weeks and there are 3 steps. So step 1, that first week, we focus on optimizing your profile, tips to do that right. The second week, and step 2, 3, and so on. We also, what I think is really fun that we added at the last round of the challenge is that we created a free Q&A as part of the LinkedIn challenge, so people can bring their questions
every week.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's usually a pretty smallish group, so you can ask anything you want and you will definitely get it answered. So you can come and bring that, because creating the opportunity to ask your question and receive live support is one of the best perks of the challenge.
Yeah. Tanya says she was in the car and then now she's in the studio. What is step 3?
Hi, Tanya. It's communicating in a non-spammy way.
Right.
So once you've already optimized your profile, connected with your targeted client, prospective client, the third step is communicating with them and starting to build that relationship in a way that does not feel spammy to them.
Yeah, which is the key and so amazing if you can figure it out. And Tracy, you're a master. You're an absolute master. So the course is a certain price and the challenge is a certain price. What do you recommend, Tracy? Should they go right to your course? Should they take the challenge? Money is a thing. Thoughts?
Sure. I would say that it all depends on how you like to learn. Okay. I do know that there are people who maybe they're in a busy season of life. You might be moving. You might be changing jobs. If that's your circumstance, you might prefer something that is not live. You might like an on-demand course that you can just log in and learn whenever you feel like it. Yes, it is a lifetime membership. It does not have live support, though. It does not have the accountability aspect. So that's why we created the challenge. Also, the course is all encompassing from top to bottom. So that's why it costs more. But it's still only $297, which I need to raise the price, but I want to try to keep it affordable. But it's all encompassing. Grab one. I know I always say that. And I don't. Because I love this community and I know people are watching their money. But if you would get one client, just one, and they hire you for a $300 job, you've made back your money. But you have the potential to gain multiple clients that bring you multiple jobs. That's the goal. That's what I do and continue to do. But the challenge, like I said, you get that live support. They get you and me on those calls.
Yeah.
So that's valuable. And then also, there's a community of people that are doing this challenge with you.
Yeah.
So that's the accountability aspect. Plus the bite-sized bits, like it's just one little thing that you do each day. So if anybody is feeling overwhelmed, the challenge is perfect for that too.
Right. It starts in mid-September, but I have to tell you, I love you too, Marian. So important. I have to tell you something. I have to admit something. So Tracy and I are, like everyone, I think, flying by the seat of our pants, although we have some good systems in play. But we do have our hair on fire most of the time. So that's the truth. So we have not created our landing page for this particular challenge yet. So I am going to direct you to 2 places where you can find out about the challenge, and then I can direct you to the page if you want to just be on the waiting list, or if you want to sign up. I will get my ducks in a row for that, because it's not ready yet. So Christy, I have the links in our chat, our personal chat. Can you share that with the audience? If you go to speechlessvo.com, because thank you, we are organizing this with Tracy. We're facilitating it. We set it all up for her, and she gives us all the wisdom, and we plug it in. So go to speechless.vo.com and join the Speechless Party, as we say. Give us your email, and you will find out about the challenge through there. I'm also going to do another plug, because I've heard that this, people really appreciate this. So I don't want to promote myself, but I'm going to promote my newsletter because it's valuable. So if you go to natashamarchevka.com, I know it's difficult to spell, but I'm sure Christy will put it in the window. I have a voice actors email. Just scroll to the bottom of my website, and I do a mid-month share to voice actors. It's just casual, text-based.
I love it.
No obligation. Lots of people really have said it's been valuable. And so that's where I share really great things, really great resources, but 100% I will be sharing the link to sign up for the challenge in that twice. So this month, and then next month, right before the challenge. So speechlessvo.com or natashamarchevka.com will lead you to the challenge when we organize the landing page for you. So thank you for hanging in there and hanging on. And for people who have already done the challenge, guess what? It's free.
Yes.
Yes, it's
free. We didn't want to charge again.
It's free for you if you've already done it, because you've already done it. And we just want to keep encouraging you to participate, because it's helpful. We always need to get back on that horse if you didn't finish it last time or the last time, and also make some updates. We always need to make updates. And man, that I'm in that category. So thank you, Galina. Thank you. Yay. So I don't see any more questions. Christy, if you want to give us any more questions, we are here for a few more minutes, and then off we go into our day, our very busy hair on fire day. Tracy had a birthday yesterday, so I'm sure she's, I had a birthday last week. So it was like the next day, it was like being on vacation kind of, because you just have everything flying at you on your birthday. And I still have to thank people on Facebook, as I'm sure you do, Tracy.
I still have reels to put together. Like, it's crazy. And I have a cold.
Oh, I was
wondering.
Oh,
I probably sound congested, but
it
is what it is.
Like you just woke up a little bit, but I just figured you just woke up. So
no, it's like almost noon. So
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. I've been sleeping a lot. It's fine.
Yeah, and there's lots of tricks we do to feel better.
Yes, lots of tricks. All the vitamins and all the things.
Yeah. Thank you for your birthday wishes, Goldie. And I'm so glad some of you have signed up already. I'm sure some of you have already signed up. Yay. Okay. So if there's no more questions, and thank you to Christy Harst for the building door, everything. A huge thank you to Tracy for bringing her wisdom, always something fresh, always something new to learn. I'm so grateful to be able to share Tracy's wisdom because she is on freaking fire, not just her hair. On behalf of Building Doors, we truly appreciate you attending, and a big shout out to everyone who joined us live. And some of us will see us not live, but we're still human and not AI. Woo-hoo.
Yes. And this will be posted on the Building Doors VO YouTube channel, which and also there's going to be podcasts, but I think the easiest thing to tell everybody is to go to the YouTube channel, because they're going to be able to see past episodes of LinkedIn Lives too, and you might learn something else.
Yes. And Rose, yes, reach out to everyone, each other on LinkedIn. Certainly reach out to Tracy and I. And if you want to support this campaign, y'all, buy us a coffee. Go to buymeacoffee.com/buildingdoorsvo to donate. And if you want to become a 2026 door builder and revoice a spot originally voiced by a man, and of course I'm speaking to a woman at the moment, submissions will be open September 10th to 24th. So make sure to look for how to submit via the social media channels for Building Doors VO. And remember, we love to keep the conversation going. Leave messages, of course, positive. Call 216-307-1917. That's 216-307-1917. Leave a voicemail with your thoughts on today's discussion and the Building Doors campaign. Next Building Doors event, next LinkedIn Live is Kaylee Turner, booked and busy. Now what? August 27th at
7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern on Instagram. Okay, so it's the next Instagram Live event. This one was the monthly LinkedIn. This next one is the Instagram Live. Again, it's Kaylee Turner. Topic, booked and busy. Now what? August 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern time on Instagram. All right, everyone, have a wonderful rest of your week. Try to stay cool. I hope your air conditioners work, and get out there and get some fans before everyone else does. All right.
Also, if any of this, just to say, if any of this was like, what did she say? Go ahead and reach out to Natasha or me or Christy Harst or Building Doors VO. Send a message on LinkedIn if you are like, what's their email address? We want to help you if you have questions about anything that we've said today.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Have a great day, everyone. And have a great day, Tracy and Christy. Love to see you.
Thank you for this, Natasha. You were a fabulous host.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Building Doors podcast. Want to hear more? Check out all our episodes at buildingdoorsvo.com/podcast and follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn at Building Doors VO. We'd love to hear from you, so call us on our 24/7 hotline at 216-307-1917 and leave us a voicemail with your thoughts. Do you want to support the podcast? Well, we love coffee. Buy us a cup through the link in the description or at buildingdoorsvo.com. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep speaking up, and let's keep building doors together.